Oh, look at that. They're already in there.
We are about to begin. Now, the first ban will be happening in just a moment.
Seems like C9 Maelstrom has first pick, first ban. What did they ban out last time? Hammer? That was also on Cursed Hollow.
Kubi.
They had also just been noticing that Temple Storm had been favoring Hammer quite a bit. Kubi, you ask? What question? You already forgot it. I know it's really intimidating to ask Kubi questions, but...
I know. It is. The Kubi questions are real.
Mm-hmm. You forgot? It's okay. It happens to everybody.
We're seeing Hammer banned out on Cursed Hollow for a second time in a row. I believe Maelstrom did that both times.
Yeah, they did. They did that in the first game. The previous series. Worked for him then. Why not try it again? You like that rhyme? Did you like that one?
I did.
You're
not a rhyme master, but you're learning. and Asmodee is going to be banned out today.
Same bands. All right, let's see. Can we look back? Illidan, first pick for Maelstrom. Do they go for it again? Am I going to be a prophet here? Prophesizing?
Educated guessing.
No. I know they're going for Illidan. They're just going to pick him. And I'm going to look like a genius. Ain't nothing but a thing.
I like.
Oh yeah, look how smart I am. I'm the best.
I just got.
They're gonna go for Rhaegar Nazebo.
I got to shout out to the chat for when they're using the Kubi face and the kitty face to make Kubi's kitty.
Rhaegar Nazebo. Oh come on, Temple Storm, you're killing me.
Getting ruined. Getting
I almost looked amazing. Of course, I'm only calling this because it's very similar to the last series that they played. First game was on Cursed Hollow. Very, very similar opening, so they've opted to go for ETC. And it's actually kind of a steal. I'm sure that if they had not grabbed ETC here, Maelstrom would have followed up by taking that in the next two picks.
All right. What do they follow up with their Illidan?
They could go Sonya. Sonya Uther. Yeah, I like Sonya Uther.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. Now, Temple Storm opting to grab Rhaegar for the first time, right?
Yeah, they haven't played too much. There's the Uther.
They've been leaning to Malf, and I don't think we're going to see Malf here. Hammer is banned, but Zebo's still on the table. So as much as Sonya makes sense, so does Nazebo.
Depends on what style they want to play. But having Illidan and Sonya on the same team, it's such a rare
so
opportunity.
Scary
Plus
too.
Uther. Yeah.
Pretty good start.
Yeah. They're taking their time thinking about it. So you say no Malfurion? You prefer Brightwing here? For Temple Storm.
No, I just prefer that they didn't pick Malf first.
Alternatively, Maelstrom could go double support here.
And
Take
the thing about taking Malf instead of Brightwing is you have the two supports of the four top that don't have an interrupt. Having Polly versus Roots in this scenario.
Vala? Okay.
Okay.
We saw this last time, didn't we?
They're not
they were
showing their
playing
hand.
very, very neutral. Yeah, that was exactly the case. They were showing very neutral. We're not really picking one or the other.
Maelstrom is really good at hiding their cards. Honestly, I think it was Zoya that was saying, he's like, I think Maelstrom is the best at drafting in the entire game.
Well, that was when they had Zuna.
No,
and Kemba.
this was last week.
Oh, really?
This was last week.
Okay.
This was during Ding It.
Still gives them that credit.
Yep.
Okay.
Just their ability to draft and just like the way they hide their cards, it's playing up for them because they have this composition that works in so many ways. They can divert to. They go for Sonya, great. They want Zebo. If she's still on the table, great. They can grab that. Now you say, okay, we're going to pick up Zebo, but Heroic Leap directly counters it, or Diablo directly counters it with the Apocalypse. There's like a lot of answers for it, but at the same time, most teams value Zebo just because of the threat of Ravenous is always going to be so strong. So by hiding their hands in terms of their tank and that Sonya, it's very good. No, okay, Temple Storm.
Tassadar's Nazebo? Oh, Zeratul.
Tassadar Zeratul. So they said, all right, Zeratul did wonders for us in that last game. Tassadar is a pretty neutral, rounded pick. We're not going to see. I don't think we're going to see a Brightwing thrown into this. Do they go for Zebo?
I don't think Sonya is a good choice now, considering that Zeratul is available.
I would agree. I think they're going to go Zebo and
Stitches.
Diablo or Stitches.
There's nothing to protect So you may as well just take the extra utility that Stitches provides.
With Putrid Bile?
Yeah. Putrid Bile. Bile for a while with Ravenous Spirit.
It's bile for a while and wear a big smile. That is how all the Stitches
That's what
feel.
the Jester Ravenous Spirit has a big smile. I like it.
Oh, so
I don't think
smart.
you intended for that, but that works. I'll give it to you. Dipping into that bonus pool. Maelstrom is. Been thinking about this one. I mean, this is still a huge decision for them to make. What play style do they want to choose? The picks they have so far are very neutral. They can choose to go... They could pick Malf and a tank and be heavy sustained. They could pick Sonya and some extra damage and be very bursty. They could continue to go middle of the road.
And guys, we have a poll going on right now. Vote Tempo Storm, vote TS, or vote C9. See who we want. Let's see who wants to... what the crowd wants to see. Let's see if I can say words. And,
Burden, Tyrande. Okay, I don't think either of those came out of our mouths.
Nope, neither of those were said.
So,
and this is cool. Tyrande has fallen off so much since we've seen a lot less Arthas and Kerrigan over the last while.
The while. What is it? How long is a while? You said that very specifically as a noun. Over the last while. Instead of like over the last 2 months? No, over the last while.
Kubi, you need to learn Jack English and you need to learn it fast.
That's why I'm asking. I want to know what it means.
It doesn't mean anything.
Well,
That's the thing about Jack English. It's nonsensical.
I'm never going to learn this way. You have to kind of walk me through a little bit.
Nope. You must learn on your own. The stream knows.
You think it'll take me one while to learn?
Yes. Roughly a while.
All right, I'm getting there. I'm picking up on it.
All right.
Who else knows Jack English?
Allison is very fluent in Jack English.
Okay. She just like listens to you ramble and she's like, okay, I think I got some semblance
No,
of a sentence there.
she's very good. She's adapted and she's picked up a Jack English on her own.
Jack English.
I'm drunk on pizza right now, guys. Quantic1 saying, Jake, where do you want us to send us our replays? Guys, I do a show called The Daily Quest where I review replays, I analyze them, I give feedback, I do a whole lot of cool things, and that's simply solidjakegg@gmail.com. Couldn't be much easier. And Maw and Void
We've never
Prison,
seen these two together. When you overlap the two, you ever see that short video of the guy who tapes a piece of buttered toast to the cat and then it spins around and he puts it into a washing machine and makes a reactor out of it? That's what happens when Maw and Void Prison are on the same team. It creates energy. And the world is happy again.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness gracious. We're seeing some cool... This is nothing like any of the drafts we've seen at all today. This is so different.
And I think what it is, they're playing so many mind games in the draft that they almost force each other to take these weird strategies. Like,
Right.
okay, yeah, taking the Sonya, it's very, very obvious that you're going to go into it until... Yeah, so there's the counter Zeratul. We saw that work wonders last game.
Yeah, we did. Well,
Weird strategies. I'm okay with it. It's cool.
I'm
It's
not
cool to
okay
see-
with it. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it's cool to see teams that are so good at drafting against each other that they force weird stuff, and that's really fun to see.
Well, we are telling the players that we already 9 out of 10 players have readied up at this point.
Oh, we're about to get into game number 1 of the grand finals for Kings of the Storm Weekly 11. Jake, are you excited?
I'm dancing.
Nice.
This is how you dance.
ATC. Oh, KO's got the sweet test on our skin.
Does he?
Look at it. Ooh, the Anubis. Is that the Anubis?
Oh,
Check that out,
oh
guys.
my.
You guys can see Jake's friends list.
Oh no. Hit that right quick. You guys don't know how many friends I have. That friends list is actually always full. Someday they'll make it bigger.
I wish I had my plug here. He's plugging himself. Thank you.
No, it's just like
It's just so... I'm just so popular all the time.
not at all.
There's not any room for this. Like, I hope they don't put a limit on Twitter followers, because I would be just so ruined. And
I'm basically Justin Bieber on Twitter.
okay.
You can't even
Alright,
contest
guys.
that.
Please
10
don't-
out of 10 already.
9 out of 10 already. We lost a member.
Dunk hit ready, and then he said, "Just kidding."
JK BRB bio. Okay, so we got a couple minute break here. Well,
So that
Dunk
means
goes to take care
he's
of
going to
himself.
bio build in StarCraft 2. That's what it means. We're going to see a Marine Marauder drop in this next series, and the aggression is going to be real. I mean, the medevacs healing those Marines as they use their stim packs, constantly aggressing on the natural expansion of the Protoss is going to be just too much.
you just spoke for about 30 seconds there, and I didn't understand a word of it.
You watched StarCraft?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, you have forgotten everything about StarCraft 2?
I joke. I watched a lot of StarCraft.
I
Not
wanted,
anymore, though.
you know,
Watched too many
I was in
Heroes
college.
games.
I was in college when StarCraft 2 was really popular, and you know, I aspired to be a caster back then. It's just not something I could commit to at all. Like I didn't. It never really happened, and that's kind of what inspired me to end up doing this for Heroes of the Storm. Coming over from StarCraft, really watching that, meeting guys like Artosis and Day 9, and all through all those MMG events that I worked at. It was cool. And here we are casting Heroes of the Storm, and the game is about to begin. This is the grand final. This is Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11. Kupus Maximus.
Are you ready? I am ready. Let's do this.
Cursed Hollow.
As we do our poorly dubbed Kung Fu movie impression.
I want my hotkeys work.
Come on, man. It's right there. Keyboard's right there.
It won't work.
God. Jake's actually going to be very depressed for this entire next game. When his hotkeys don't work, he gets visibly upset. You just pay attention to his face. He's going to be in a sullen mood. It's like, oh, my hotkeys. I wish things were more streamlined here. Wish my friends list was bigger. Oh, God.
Oh, goodness. Kubis.
Enough of that. Enough of those shenanigans. Let's talk about the boys in blue
Which one?
on the left side.
They're both blue.
No, they're not. Oh, that
The
the
logos
logos.
are
Oh,
blue.
you silly man. Okay, boys in blue on the left side. For Cloud9 Maelstrom, we have Dunk Train on Tyrande. Biceps going to be playing Uther. I Dream on Illidan. K1 Pro. Vala. King Caffeine will be rounding it out on Muradin.
And on the other side, we do have a Tempo Storm coming from the losers bracket. They need to win two best of three series if they do want to take this tournament. And Dreadnought will be playing as Rhaegar Arthalon on that Master Skin, the Fiery Zagara. KO playing Tassadar. Glaring on the Zeratul once again. We saw his power that last series, and last but not least, Soldier playing the cow. Will we be fortunate enough to hear a moo? Because it's full farm animal status. He's riding a pig. It's a cow on a pig. We could actually have breakfast.
How come cows don't wear jackets more often?
It's a great question. You
Like,
think?
you'd think that farm owners would have cows with jackets. They look pretty cool.
Why don't you dress your animals more? Like, step it up, farm owners.
Yeah, I should dress my animal more. She does not like having jackets on.
I dress my cows with sauces like A1 sauce. That's how I. Well, that's just my preference. Well, this bottom lane we do have the trio from Temple Storm. There's a trio to respond out of Cloud9. Dunk Train playing Tyrande this game. Going to be looking to get some big Lunar Flare follow-ups. Typically, we see Tyrande played with things like Kerrigan, the Primal Grass pull-in, followed by the Stun, the Impale, and then the Lunar Flare. All of that, you add Hunter's Mark on top, it's a lot of burst. Well, we don't have Kerrigan, we don't have Arthas, but we have Muradin and Uther, and they're going to see what they can do with that.
Looking at some of the level 1 talents that were chosen. We have actually block picked up for both Zeratul and ETC. Everything else, aside from the Perfect Storm, grabbed on Muradin side of things, pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, melee battles here in the middle. I Dream Glowering just kind of fighting it out, exchanging damage, and then retaining their health all in the while. Soldier versus King Caffeine, the standard top lane, not too exciting. Just looking at the talents as we are approaching level 4 very rapidly. Level 1. Nothing to talk about.
It's pretty,
Nothing to talk
pretty
about.
standard. I know. I was like, oh, geez, these guys not doing anything crazy. Not just yet. Not just yet.
Now look at this.
Okay, we saw this the last time that they were playing on Cursed Hollow. They wait out. They know the timing. 2 minutes. They even throw down the healing ward to make sure the Dreadnought will stay alive, but they do want to make sure they cap those very quickly. And we saw Maelstrom appropriately rotate to their side and take Bruisers. And they also had an early tribute that popped up, and that happened to be in their favor. We see that the Sentinel has gone out. They're aware that this is... Why aren't they capturing it? Oh, they're just trying to time it out. Oh, okay, in accordance with the tribute, so they can have, hopefully, pressure across the map if the tribute spawns in the top lane. That's
Smart.
good for them.
Yeah, I mean, tribute spawn anywhere between 2 minutes and 15 seconds and 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And, well, we're going to see that happen very soon, 15 seconds at the maximum. But there it is. We see it pop up, and the tribute will be spawning momentarily.
In the top lane. That's good for Tempo Storm, considering they just took that mercenary camp. Level 4 talents, again, we see that sustained anomaly. The area damage.
Yeah.
Zeratul players seem to be not favoring the gathering power so much anymore.
Yeah, we saw both today. We saw, I think it was 1-1. I think we've only seen Zeratul play twice. And it's nice to have diversity, though. It's really just kind of changing up the meta a little bit. I mean, we know level 20 is going to be hit on Curse Hollow. It's very uncommon for the game to end before level 20. So that means Rewind will be picked up with the quadruple bombs being available.
Right. Both teams continuing to have pretty solid soak. Well, Arthon is being pulled out of the mid lane for just a little bit. Going to apply some damage, throw some mercs down, and likely to rotate back. No, he's going to go Hearth back to get some mana. Temple Storm will appropriately grab their bruisers, apply a little bit of pressure mid. This might provide a bit of a distraction for the next tribute.
Yeah, and level 7 picked up first, so a slight experience lead here for Tempo Storm. And we see 7 picked up on the side of Maelstrom, going for the Clairvoyance on Uther instead of Cleanse. Not a lot of stuns to worry about, just really the ETC. So they're opting to maximize the vision on this map, and I think that's a pretty good call.
Yeah, that might suggest that they're hoping to play a little bit more aggressively if they're looking to find situations where the rest of the team is. Oh my gosh, and Tempo Storm gets a very, they had a heads up.
That was a nice blink,
too. Yeah, good reaction there. They had a good heads up that they might be taking their bruiser camp.
That hurts.
Time.
That's
it
like
does hurt.
a big thorn in their side. Tempo Storm has the first tribute. They've taken 3 Merc camps on the map, stealing that last one under the nose of Cloud and Maelstrom, and they're putting some aggression on this middle lane while they have Rhaegar in position to potentially cap this tribute. But K1 Pro will stall it out.
So it would appear as though these mercenary camps are all but cleaned up. K1 Pro, like you said, has positioned himself in a way with the good zoning from Glaurung. If he wants to come back in, he's going to end up taking quite a bit more damage. The Ranger, the Sentinel, going out, interrupting Dreadnought once again. They're probably just going to rotate heroes in and out to continue to stall. We have Murd soaking in the top lane, so the longer this goes on, the more beneficial it is for Cloud9 Maelstrom. Perhaps we will see Tempo Storm abandon this in favor of going back to soak.
They should do just that. They've positioned themselves back in the lanes. They know that if they lose the race to level 10, it can be a problem. So they're saying, look, they're doing a good enough job between their just the Uther and the Tirana, they can stall us out. So let's just forfeit this, get level 10, and then we'll beat them at the next tribute, hopefully. That's their goal.
Yeah, I think that ended up being a problem for them in the first game of the Winners Final Series. They fell behind considerably before that third tribute. I think it was almost a level lead for Maelstrom at that point.
Right, it was.
Because of what just happened there. Like the stalling, they had better soak.
Adapting from their mistakes, it's very good. And we're going to see more and more camps pick up. These Giants have respawned, being grabbed. ETC is going to be in position, and Tempo Storm is the first team to hit level 10. And what do we got going on for the Heroics?
We have Ancestral Healing, Archon, of course, Maw, and Void Prison. Those two never should be in the same team, but they are breaking the rules of physics. And will it be Stage Dive or Mosh Pit?
Breaking the rules of physics. It's like a cat falling down that just can't turn around.
Just couldn't resist the opportunity to arrive. And he does go for Stage Dive, so we'll have to be paying attention to that.
And the Stage Dive can be used to interrupt this if they need to do that. But the Hedwig looking for the interruption, not going to make it 2-1 in terms of the tribute count at this point. And they're going to put a lot of aggression with these bottom Giants. We see they're actually opting to shield them. They want to keep them alive. They want to maximize their siege damage here.
There is a pair of Siege Giants in the top lane. King Caffeine is escorting them forward. Soldier probably wanting to get on the other side of them to knock them into the towers, so the tower shots will hit them. Not going to be the case. And like you said, Giants providing a little bit of structural damage in the bottom lane.
Yep, so K1 Pro is going to opt to remove the creep tumors whenever possible. And something that's cool about this game is we actually have the Clairvoyance and the Farsight. Each team opting for those vision talents. And that's not something we actually see all that often, but I think it's going to become increasingly popularity in the current state of the meta, especially on a map like this with Garden of Terror, where you're splitting up those objectives. Because having knowledge a lot of the time is half you win a game. See, they're opting to go for the boss, but Dreadnought is going to scout this out. Showing 2 members, pulling them off this. Arthlon in the back. It is a 3v3 right now.
iDream actually almost fell in the top lane. He had to use Metamorphosis to get out of that situation.
Wow.
So he threw his Heroic very early. That might put Tempo Storm in a big positive advantage for this fight. I think maybe at this point, Maelstrom may choose to not even engage.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. If you do not have the Metamorphosis, that's pretty much Illidan's entire point in a team fight, is to be able to survive with that Metamorphosis. Without it, he is far too vulnerable. And the curse is going to go to Tempo Storm 3-1 in the tribute count.
Now, that last time this happened, Tempo Storm did capture the first curse. Maelstrom got very aggressive on one of the lanes. They don't seem to be doing that this time. They're opting to stay back and defend. And perhaps it is because of the level advantage that having level 13
that talent.
over 12, it's a big deal.
And looking at the talents we're just picking up now, we do see the Mutalisk being picked up. The Muta, of course, now stays out even after its target dies, so it increases mobility a little bit. And they've just kind of improved the AI in general. Healing Surge out of Rhaegar.
Yeah, he's the only healer, and they do have the healing ward for Tassadar, but still, getting that burst healing can be very impactful in those fights, keeping people alive. They do take the middle fort. ETC providing a little bit of creep support. Yeah. Trying to move them a little bit further forward, just do a little bit of lane clear. Now, this puts King Caffeine in a bit of an awkward situation. He is going to have to Dwarf Toss out because of the rotation present from Tempo Storm. K1 Pro maybe going to have to throw a bit of just AoE pressure in the form of multi-shot. Not really going to try to go in on this. That's the second fort going down. So the Curse managing to get two forts and about a level lead, maybe a bit less, for Tempo Storm. Yeah,
Tempo Storm has that lead, but they've been, Maelstrom's doing the right thing. They've been soaking all 3 lanes. Tempo Storm hasn't been in that bottom lane for a long time, and Illidan's been sitting down there soaking. He is actually just a sponge. Now, the boss will be picked up very quickly, but Illidan has already started working on the bottom boss by himself, and as Dunk comes down, the 2 of them could honestly solo it, but they'll have some help. Oh, I like this. They left Soldier by himself. The rest of them are making their way across. They're going to barely get there. Glaurung could sit down a big VP, and he's going to do that. Here's the stage dive to try to force them all. If Starfall is used defensively for zoning purposes, but does this force a full disengage? I think Soldier should be helping his team out here. Yes, he does back off.
So they did use 2 heroics to not exactly accomplish a whole lot in that. Yeah, that did a considerable amount of damage. Things weren't timed out so well. The VP, and you wasted the extra damage, and KO is going to probably, there's no way he's getting out of this. Okay, that was a blunder. That's a big blunder.
That was a big mistake. The Divine Storm, Rain of Vengeance. I mean, that was painful to watch.
Yeah, there was some miscommunication there. The VP was not pulled down early enough. You want to get that AoE damage. There we go, and the knockback. This is, they're going to be able to push. Maelstrom's going to be able to push with their golem, where Tempo Storm had to just let theirs go while they attempted to steal the other one away.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, their golem did make it to the keep, so the golem did a sizable amount of damage. And during all of this, Tempo Storm was able to pick up both the Knights and the Giants, and those Giants will meet with this golem, doing a bit of work. Now, the golem will ignore them. These boulders are actually just missing. They're terrible. They throw grenades about as well as me.
That's not very good. It's not very good. Yeah, they did bypass there, or I should say that the golem bypassed and is going to apply some damage to the front lane, but did take the fort down. It's a good pickup for Maelstrom.
Well, we do have everyone here except Zagara, which is played by Arthlon, and Zagara has mounted up and making his way on over. A nice stun going out into KO, but the chain heals are real, keeping everyone topped off. The big blink in, doing a bit of damage. There's the Metamorphosis, and the Divine Storm of the Ancestral Healing will be able to keep Glaurung alive. Maw hitting 3 targets. Rain of Vengeance only connecting with our ETC, and Glaurung is going to get blown up. No! Warp hold, but he does die.
Yes. Biceps finds himself caught between 3 members of Tempo Storm. He will fall. It is currently a 1-for-1 situation. Arthlon taking too much damage. iDream will fall to the same fate. No! KO is able to survive as well. Shielding going down on iDream on the Illidan there to keep him alive.
Did the chain heal just heal his corpse? I need to check the replay on that. I think it just healed his corpse. I really do. Well, iDream was able to survive through all that. Illidan is very slippery, and we just see a full hearth. They don't know what Tempo Storm's doing, but they're just going to heal on up, be at full health, and then regroup and push back on out. Yeah. They are in the lead at this point.
That was a significant team fight for Maelstrom. So we do have those little 16 talents. Anything wacky chosen? Nope.
Yeah, it looks like
those are all normal builds for these heroes. Filling in with what they have. Opposing Presence might be the only talent that would be up for contention. We do see that, and that's going to be good against. Well, I don't even know. It's kind of a weird one now that I look at it. ETC, maybe Zeratul, but if there was some more auto attackers on the other side, I guess Archon. I'm not sure if it's worth taking that over Hardened Focus.
Yeah,
it depends on the player.
It definitely does. Now, okay, Tribute has spawned. 2 for 0 in favor, and Soldier is caught out of position. He should be able to get out of this. Yes, his dash is on board, and he's going to be able to get Lunar Flare will clip him, but there's the Metamorphosis on iDream. Taking a lot of damage. The The grasp goes there. Arthlon gets the ancestral healing, but he has very little mobility to try to get out of this. Biceps a little too forward, gonna fall very quickly, and with this Archon in the front, they have so much damage potential. The Lunar Flare hitting Glowering and Soldier. Glowering get with the 100 mark, and then iDream goes in, just eliminating him. Suddenly, Dreadnought, KO, they're all so low.
The sustain was real in that fight for Maelstrom. I thought just with the Starfall going down, that consistent damage, the entire team from Tempo Storm was fighting underneath it for a considerable amount of time. And that gets them, oh, actually only a 2 for, they looked like they almost were able to capture more. And
very cheeky here by Soldier.
Oh no,
it's not going to pay
play.
off though. The
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark and just the damage between the 3 of them is going to be far too much for him to live through. No healer in sight. That was
questionable.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe he thought that the support from Arthlon would be enough to eliminate someone quickly. And this fight between King Caffeine and Arthlon is going to go the way of Arthlon. That needs one more shot from that Mutalisk. He does get it. This should allow Dreadnought to capture the Tribute. No, Duntrain firing off one last Sentinel to interrupt, and I don't see how they're going to be able to capture it at this point. So, yep, 2 for 1, Tribute-wise. Maelstrom is going to have to try again one more time to get that curse.
So in the end, the stage dive ended up working out. It prevented a curse. He sacrificed himself, but it prevented a curse. So
yeah, it's true. They ended up getting another kill out of it. So they traded, prevented the curse, took the tribute. I guess in hindsight, it worked out. Problem being, it might not always work out that way. It's a dicey maneuver. We see the Sentinel flying out once again just to confirm that they are taking that boss. That does appear to be the case. And I thought perhaps Maelstrom would take this opportunity to take their own boss. Not the case.
They're playing a little bit more passive.
Yeah, it's very passive.
I feel like we're going to have another fight there, but I think we're going to see a different game plan out of Tempo Storm the next time they initiate aggressively on a boss, because
Tempo Storm sees that a majority of Maelstrom is backed up to take the the top boss down. I think this will trigger them to go in and take the bottom boss. I will give them 2 bosses pushing at the same time.
Sentinel doing a lot of damage, clipping 3 targets. The stun comes out from King Caffeine. They're just trying to show that they have a threat, but they're well aware that there are multiple members at the top boss. Being cleared, doing a lot of damage to that keep, and now they have to worry about this bottom boss, which is also pushing onto the base of Cloud9 Maelstrom.
That's a good point. We have a lot of pressure. Oh, but they also gave up a curse at the same time. The Golem will not get a huge... Well, now that there's a curse, they have to respond to. I was going to say it will probably just die to the fort or the keep walls. Not going to be the case. Oh, sorry, the curse is on the other side. Never mind.
Yes, that was actually Cloud9 picking up the curse. So that makes this... it makes the boss a little bit less impactful. You see only Illidan working on it right now, and he's doing a decent job at powering through that. But this boss will have no minions to back it up and will fall rather quickly. They can use Hunter's Mark to blow it up, the Lunar Flare just for more damage, and stopping to slap the ground, or stomp, however you want to call it.
Slapping the ground. He's a slap master, I told you.
Slap Master.
That's the theme song? I've never heard the theme song for Slap Master.
Now you have.
Okay.
You know what I haven't heard this game? I haven't heard a moo out
No
of our
moves.
Master.
Make it happen, ETC, please. How would you evaluate this game right now? Snapshot time. Who's winning? Who's in the lead?
It's actually like it's slightly to Tempo Storm. They did do that early throw, and yes, they've lost this, but structurally they have the advantage. The fact that they're keeping 2 forts alive still. In terms of the talents, let's look at the talents here. The quest of 20 isn't their favor. It's not really going to make a difference. I don't think we're going to see a fight pre-20. They're just going to keep soaking on up.
Right.
But the talents are so dead even. Once ETC has Blink, I mean, he can, even if he stage dives in, he has Blink, so there's like more options for him, and that makes ETC incredibly scary. And I think Zagara will get Blink as well, both of the Storm. So they have a bit more of an insurance policy on the side of Tempo Storm at this point, but they haven't had it all this game.
Soldier was posturing a little bit there. Decides not to go in, just shows the cow and says, "You guys are going to back up." And they did.
Yep. That's the power of the farm animals.
And neither team really wants to commit to a fight before level 20, like you were saying.
Man, those Sentinels, they're starting to hurt. Tyrande catching up to Vala in damage at this point in the game.
Zagara holding that position on Tempo Storm.
Well, level 20 has been picked up by Tempo Storm. There's the single bolt. There is the rewind, the Dark Archon. The other bolt we talked about And should be Storm Shield coming
I
out
would
of
guess Storm
Rhaegar.
Shield. We haven't seen the splash damage grabbed on Ancestral in some time,
No.
or ever.
And the thing about Storm Shield is it has so much synergy with Ancestral. You hit Storm Shield first, then you cast Ancestral.
Right.
It gives you more time and more of a buffer to get that heal off.
Rewind. Rewind on Rhaegar?
Unexpected.
He's one of the heroes that picked up Rewind while not having previously had it in the
It's
Slash
interesting.
patch.
I'm okay with it. It's going to be cool.
It's double light. His kit, his base kit though, isn't that strong.
Double
Why-
Earthgrass Totem is
Yeah,
actually
that's nice.
is nice, and the double heal is also quite nice. So considering how much healing he has with the healing surge
Yeah.
and just Earth Shield, I think it's
I guess it is a lot of single target burst heal if he chooses to go for it. With the double Earth Shield, double healing surge, and then follow that up with an Ancestral if needed.
but Storm Shield is so powerful that
It
it's just
is.
hard to give up.
There also isn't as much range on it as you would think too, and if he has to be too far forward to get that Storm Shield, maybe
He has Wolf Form, so I don't think it's really
Sure.
too much of a problem with
good
Rhaegar.
points. Good points.
Well, we're going to see how that pans out. On the other side, though, we see the Triple Bolt, the Divine Hurricane, and a Rewind on Muradin.
Yeah, Muradin has taken quite a bit of hit in this last update that we had from Blizzard. Of course, he had Rewind at 13. This gave him quite a bit of utility, being able to jump into a fight, stun, rewind, stun, leap out. Quite a bit safer. So pressure into these fights, not the case now. He has to wait until level 20 to get it, and he has chosen to grab it.
All right, there go out those Singularity Bombs connecting with Biceps, doing a bit of damage. Both teams just kind of poking around. Neither team wants to commit completely. Once we see the star fall, we know the game has begun, and it should be pretty soon.
Yeah, both teams posturing like you were saying. There's no hard initiates, other than, I guess, Metamorphosis, but if he just Metamorphoses in and then the rest of the team runs back, it could be, especially with Soldier zoning out for the rest of the team. So there's a lot of posturing going on. Maybe a VP is what they're waiting for. Not sure, but it's cool to see the positioning here. No hooks to worry about. So the teams are quite close to each other while this is going on.
All right, Soldier getting a little bit aggressive, knocking King Caffeine, but he just Dwarf Toss back to his allies here. The fight is starting to get a little bit more spread out. Caffeine and Soldier. Soldier needs to make sure he doesn't get too separated from his team. Dodging that, and the Mutalisk is kind of just going to town on iDream. iDream gets the self-healing from every enemy he damages, but he's getting low. Lunar Flare on Arthlon, forcing out the Ancestral Healing, but the Random Edges comes out. There's the VP and the Starfall. Glaurung bolting just in the nick of time. Biceps is so low, but they can't finish the job. Soldier is just trying so hard to end his life, but they just cannot do it. And in the meantime, is he getting too far forward? Oh my goodness, the Glaurung coming in, but the Lunar Flare hits him. They manage to pick up one kill onto the Illidan player.
Yeah, King Caffeine is still quite low. Arthlon, if he, does have one Muta chasing him at the
not
time
enough.
being the Storm. Is it going to be enough to blink? And the double... Oh! Slam down from the stage dive on Soldier. This also puts him in a good position to put some
style
pressure onto
points.
Biceps. It was so many style points. What a slow fight. That was so cool to see how Temple Storm was just slowly juking them back and forth. Each team was trying to bait the other into making a positional mistake. And while it looks like there wasn't a whole lot of precision to what was going on, Soldier knows the right time to dash through someone and knock them back into the enemy team to either force the other team to throw a lot of heroics down to initiate, or just to catch them out of position and to allow his team to start blowing up on it. So cool, really cool to see. It's so rare to see a fight like that where both teams have a massive amount of respect for the other initiation and power, and they just play very cautiously. The tribute wasn't even taken, and so we can take this boss first and then move into capturing that.
Oh my goodness.
That was a fun fight. I really enjoy it. I love those slow-paced fights where there's just so many methodical movements going on.
Yeah, it's just footsies, really. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fancy footwork, and I don't think I've ever seen stage dive kill someone.
Yeah, it was nicely done. I mean, both teams had saved so many of their heroics up to that point, so they had quite a bit of utility available long after the fight.
Well, we see this Hearth coming out. The boss is picked up, and they're just rotating to the top of the map to pick up their boss. They have a full level lead at this point, and that gives you a bit of an advantage in those fights.
Right.
One more curse, one more tribute, and they have a curse. The Sentinel is going to connect and do a good amount of damage, padding Tyranna's numbers nicely.
So, since the golem was taken before that tribute, this allows them, since the bottom golem is going to push all the way to the core, Maelstrom has to respond to it.
Yep.
And this gives Temple Storm quite a bit of time to go up and capture their own golem. Continue to hold that map pressure. They may even get aggressive, take the bruisers on the bottom side of the map. Soldiers posturing to take it.
Yeah, I mean, the top Golem has to be defended. So they have every
Yep.
every bit of time to do this.
Yeah, they're splitting up quite a bit. They know that they have positional and map advantage to make these somewhat risky plays.
And this Golem, I mean, it's a half health core or keep already, so he's going to do a sizable amount of it. We're 23 minutes into this game. Look how hard it is. He's going to get it. It's going to be very close, but it will fall.
And there it goes, just as you had prophesized, and another tribute spawn. This one being very impactful in the sense that if Tempo Storm grabs this tribute, it will be another curse. It won't be a lot of pressure applied to the lanes that already have the keeps missing, but this will allow them to finish off this last keep, and then you just have constant catapults moving in to the Maelstrom side of things, and there's no keeps down on the Tempo Storm.
Right, they got 2 forts sitting up. I mean, they have an overwhelming advantage at this point in time, a huge buffer. This back wall is still even healthy. That's the side in which the Cloud9 side Golem would be pushing in,
right.
But they've really done a good job controlling the map and controlling those merc camps, and here comes the aggression onto the final keep of Cloud9.
Okay, but considering how late the game is, if Maelstrom takes a very convincing team fight, they can end the game.
Yep.
They do already have one of the forts missing. They can run in bottom lane and finish the game. It's still, Tempo Storm has to be very careful in putting this pressure on. They did manage to pick up this last keep, so yes, Maelstrom is on the back foot defending here, but if they set up this team fight right, they can still end the game.
But look at the minions pushing in from every lane. The curse, the blue minions are just evaporating. The knights have fallen. Catapults going onto the core. There is the Starfall and the Metamorphosis with a Rain of Vengeance and Divine Storm combo. We see the Maw used defensively, but already Rhaegar has fallen here, so there will be no ancestral healing, and this is forcing a back. Tempo Storm does not want to throw the game right now.
Smartly so, like we had mentioned, any throw on the team fights, and that could have happened there. There was KO was very low before he was able to throw down his prescience and get out, throw some shields on himself. He was almost like 1 or 2 hits within dying, and that could have been a lot more trouble than they're in. As is, they still have Rhaegar down for another 30 seconds. I don't see them losing any keeps for us. It doesn't look as though Maelstrom wants to apply too much pressure. Just push those lanes back because they don't have any structures left. They have the catapults shoving down every lane.
Yeah, they do. Now, ETC is all by himself. Looks like they're trying to collapse, but Stage Dive is available right now. Look at this disengage. And he bolts for good measure. Did he just eat that basket? That filthy farm animal.
He's hungry, man.
He's hungry. Hungry, ETC. That's not how any of this works. All right, well, the bottom knights or giants will be spawning in a moment. We see that Tempo Storm is rotating their way on down. There they go. Their hands just kind of spawn and pull them out of the ground. That's how giants are born, guys. From the dirt.
I didn't know that.
I do.
I've never seen a giant in real life, so it's cool.
You should look at the dirt more.
You're right.
You'll find one.
Absolutely right. What do you think will be the next point of contention in this game here? What will cause the next team fight to happen?
I honestly think that we'll see a tribute spawn, and then Tempo Storm will try to backdoor.
That's always, yeah, that's a good point. They do have the core down to 84%, shields included still, of course.
Yep, they're going to try to force a back out of Maelstrom. It's either going to be a party bush, but that's never going to work because Maelstrom's going to constantly use the Tyrande to get vision with those Sentinels. They're going to throw those Sentinels out. If they're going to be traveling to a location, they're going to say, okay, let's find out where they are. And Soldier is just constantly showing himself forward like this. Like, we see them rotate down to the bottom lane. Soldier's like, okay, I'm going to be at your doorstep, and I'm going to force you to play cautiously. And we see the rotation. And they just, they have so much to worry about, where Tempo Storm has nothing to worry about except ending the game.
That's a good point. Still, like I said, giant team fight for either side will end the
Oh, no,
game.
you're right.
So both teams are going to be playing a good bit cautiously. Problem for Maelstrom is that they're funneling into a position that Tempo Storm is sort of already established, and they've done a good job for the most part pushing them back, and we're seeing a bit of a stalemate fight once again.
I don't necessarily like when teams position in here. It's a scary choke point that a lot of bad things can happen in. The big Divine Storm, Lunar Flurry going down the Dreadnought, and Dreadnought will get blown up, and such a thing will not be able to happen. The Maw picks up 3 people, but can they pick up on this? So much damage going onto Biceps King Caffeine, but there is a blow up onto ETC as well. Lunar Flurry is going to get Arthalon, and I actually think Cloud9's going to just end this game.
They can. Glaurung running in the complete opposite direction. Is he trying to end the game here?
Oh,
he's saying if they get too aggressive, iDream is well aware of this.
They're falling. They are falling.
That's it. That's it. That's game. I don't think there's any way that
They
Illidan
can't.
can stop this.
Oh my
Wow.
God! They left their base for just a little bit too long, and Glaurung able
Nicely
to end
played
it.
from Glaurung. I mean, would they have been able to clean up the Giants in time?
No.
If
If they did a
Glaurung
full Hearth, the damage was already being applied
that's
so
what I'm
aggressively.
thinking. It might not have. I mean, it was a good eye from Glaurung to
Yeah.
realize the situation and at least provide a distraction. I think maybe though the amount of Merc pressure that was available might have ended the game regardless.
Wow.
What else? Like how many? Was there a lot of deaths? Not really. No. Yeah, 6 to 9.
But it was
no. Sorry.
a lot of fighting.
A lot of fighting with slow, methodical fights
Fancy
because
footwork.
there's no overarching theme to the way any of these team plays. There's no hard initiates for either side. There's nothing to like pull someone really crazy out of position like you would see Stitch's hook or Sonya jump in. So cool, very very slow style play. A lot of cool team fights and a very close game up until the end.
Yep.
So that is a 1-0 advantage
To Tempo Storm,
to Tempo Storm.
who is currently down a series. So
They are.
they have to win one more game
That's right.
to reset the bracket. But Maelstrom can end it if they manage to take the next 2 games. So we're going to throw in a quick commercial break.
Yes.
Find out what our next map is going to be in the series.
Mhm.
Where does Maelstrom take us? Is it a salty run back on Cursed Hollow? Or is it somewhere majestic like the Shire of Dragons?
We'll have to find out. So you guys will be hanging out for about 5 minutes or so. We'll be back before then, so you guys stick around. See you in a bit.
Can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm, you'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. Lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. Tracks beneath the Rhine. shattered frame of mind. Wish that you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. You can lift your head up to the sky. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Wish that you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. And when that light comes through, when that day isn't you, then it will be time for a new frame of mind. When all eyes are on you, you know what to do, since you have found your new frame of mind. When you lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, but always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11 Grand Finals between Tempo Storm and Cloud9 Maelstrom. I am joined by the illustrious Kobe.
The illustrious, and I'm joined by the illustrious, solid Jake.
You can't
It's
do
done.
this to me this late
It's
into
done.
the cast. You
It's
can't.
done.
Don't make me put my priest voice on.
All right, so we have the lobby created. Someone invited that to us. Invited that to us.
Ooh.
Such English.
Salty
It
runbacks.
looks as though, okay, Dunk Train is creating the Stormcraft, so we'll have that in just a few moments, guys, and then we can get on our way into game number 2. You feeling it? You getting stretched out? Getting ready for this?
Salty
You think
runbacks.
you think we're in for the long haul here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tempo Storm. They want to bring this back.
They do. They look
They
pretty
wanna,
solid that
they
last
want to
game.
maintain their dominance as undefeated as Tempo Storm. But Cloud9 is anxious to clench that away from them. They want to take the first victory under that brand of Tempo Storm for the first time. And they did it in the winner's bracket. But can
did.
they do it in the grand finals?
I mean, if they're the one time that Maelstrom's only beaten Tempo Storm / SMG once, right? Or did it happen
Could be
once or
twice. It could be 2 to 3 times, honestly.
I can't
They
remember.
definitely went back and forth for a while. There was a point where Maelstrom definitely dethroned them. And we do have our...
46-51.
I can read. You don't have to tell the stream. Actually, you know what? The stream likes to use that.
Yeah, why not? They
Stream
can look
likes
at it too. They can follow along
So if you go...
and get 2-minute spoilers.
Fact.
If
Spoiler
they
sports.
find it ahead of time somehow.
Spoiler
All right.
sports.
Which one was it that... Was this the first one that they won? Gosh, history. Look how many Kings of the Storm there have been.
There's been, in fact, 11 Kings of the Storms, but
5 monthlies. No.
11 monthlies, and then 11.
It's too late. He can't do this anymore. He can't math, he can't words. That's okay. That's okay, Jake. We're doing
11
this.
weeklies,
Mhm.
5 monthlies, and of course, this is seating 4 Kings of the Storm, number 6. Of course, that being a monthly.
Yes.
KOTS 6, if you will.
Right. This is the second one. We still have one more after this, and then we'll feed it to a monthly.
Too many numbers. We just confused every single member in the audience.
How exciting.
So indubitably good. That is not the right way to use that word.
You're learning English. I'll give you some slack. It's okay.
Yeah. Of course, English is my second language. Chick English being my first.
It's like, what is this? Did they recreate? No. I think they might have started. Let's find out. Let's find out. Did they start?
Got to push some buttons and it just loads up
Nope,
things.
they haven't started yet.
Nope, ripped.
So I was actually talking to Jake here during the break, and I was saying, Maelstrom picked a very aggressive strategy the second game versus Tempo Storm,
Yeah.
and it worked very well. I'm surprised that they haven't continued to do this. The last game, both teams ended up going for a very passive, neutral style of play. Just based on how the drafts, they just pick a couple neutral things and then move forward from there.
Hold on, it's my jam. All right, we can resume. Now, no, I agree with you. The aggression there in the first series in the winners bracket, with Sonya style, leap, blow people up. They were just deleting kids left and right. Just you're out of the
Yeah.
game. Goodbye. Deleted.
There was
Good night.
one death on their side. I remember this. Very convincing.
Well,
So that being the second game here, they banned out Illidan first. But it's a different map too. That was also, I'm pretty sure that was on Sky Temple. Was it Sky Temple?
good question, Kobe. You should
Oh,
write this in
blank.
your notes.
I know,
Step it
I
up.
should have this in my notes.
You should step it
I get
up.
distracted by cool drafts, and then I just forget to fill out the rest of my draft notes. Ban on Hammer, once again. Do we see an Azmodan follow-up? That seems to be the common trend between these two teams when they face off. To ban Hammer and then Azmodan, respectively. Because really, whichever team doesn't ban out Azmodan, the other one's going to just scoop it up.
Now, I'm looking at the poll results for the series.
Uh-huh.
65% in favor of Tempo Storm. They believe that Tempo Storm will come back.
They're feeling the comeback.
29% for Cloud9, and 6% of you voted with invalid votes. Congratulations on failing in our poll.
Congratulations on failing. All right, Illidan picked once again the standard draft between the two teams. What do you think Tempo Storm should do to change up this? Should they pick one strategy or the other? Or do you think that they should try again with this very neutral style and just play a little bit more solidly?
Both teams are just terrified of showing their hand and having something figured out. Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm thinking like way back in history on Town Hall when we were talking about the idea of poke and if that would ever become a thing, like long range poke,
Yeah.
and like whittling away over like, you know, an objective.
Yeah.
Who's banned out? The two heroes that do that the best.
It's true. It is since the burst-ish part of the meta has slowed down so much, those styles have become very, very prominent.
Yeah. Well,
Worthy enough to earn a ban.
Rhaegar and ETC are going to be the first two picks, but the Illidan one's going to be played by
Uther
Maelstrom.
Vala.
Is it Vala? We're going to find out. It's Uther. Are the picks, are the drafts identical?
If they pick Vala, I think at this point then we're just getting trolled. They're just like, oh, we'll just pick the same teams every time, see if anyone notices.
Could be possible. No.
Uther Sonya.
Sonya would be a great pick here.
I feel like Sonya. It's slightly riskier, but I think it's
it's riskier, but
stronger
it worked
style.
out. Yeah, I can't disagree. They're going for Illidan. Or is there Zeratul? They already have Illidan.
Illidan.
That'd be such a good skin. That would confuse everyone.
Oh, you
ever.
mean like the what is it? Arthas Uther combination?
Oh goodness!
Back
Yeah,
in the day, that was
Prince
fun.
Arthas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the High Templar Zeratul is also a bit confusing. Okay.
Wait, hold on. That's kind of the counter for Sonya.
It's actually an amazing point.
This leaves them available to pick up Sonya. But the thing is, Tempo Storm can't take Sonya because the counter just got scooped up.
So
I would love to see Maelstrom grab Sonya and... God,
Now-
they can fill anything else in that spot.
now the Maw can replace Zeratul, not quite as well, but it does do the job. It's
Okay, so hear me out. They take Sonya, Zagara. The most meta of all the picks.
I like Sonya. I don't like Zagara because relying on Illidan tank is obviously not ideal.
I think it's on Tempo Storm side. I think they're gonna grab Vala and Zebo.
That makes the most sense. I would agree. It's so calm and quiet in the Nexus right now.
Okay, Tassadar.
opting for the more safe, sustainy Tassadar. He can sell out those tributes. He can see everything.
I want to see the Sonya.
I do too. I'm on board with this. I'd even be down for Sonya Tyrande.
That's a good point. That could be scary too. Gives it
Lunar
a little bit of extra
flares
support.
and the little extra support, the healing ward, and then the Hunter's Mark. If you're trying to blow kids up, and you got Leap, Zeratul, and Hunter's Mark, kids are gonna get blown up.
These guys are taking their time with the drafts. Of course, there's a lot to think about here. A lot of factors to weigh.
Do you think Sonya is viable as a solo tank, though?
With Illidan, yes.
Okay.
With Illidan. It needs to be another frontliner up there with you. It's seen it work. And it can be quite scary. Especially if you have Uther up there to stun as well. VP. There's a lot of ways to support Sonya from a distance that allows her just not to get straight up blown up.
Now, do you want to support Sonya in the gym? Do you want to spot her? Is that what you aspire to do?
No, just
There's
keep her
the
as a,
Tyrande.
just keep her as a. Oh man.
Murrah.
Oh.
Not Sonya. You got excited for a second. You thought it was Sonya Tyrande. A little bit more passivity.
Yeah.
A little bit more sustainability. But still more aggression than last game, that's for sure.
Well, not really. They just swapped out Zeratul for Vala. It's the same draft from Maelstrom as the last game. And
okay, yeah, that's true.
And then let's see. Temple Storm had Rhaegar, ETC, Tassadar, Zeratul. So again, and then they picked up Zagara for their last pick. So they might actually have the exact same team comp, just swapping Vala and Zagara. And if that's the case, I don't see why the game would end any differently.
Is it going to be bot wing?
It's just going to go down to probably a very late controlled game and just trying to force very small mistakes out of each team during those team fights. Let's see. If they were going for a more dive style, I would say, yeah, Brightwing. If they had picked up Sonya, go for Brightwing, sure. But there's no huge threat that's evident. They didn't pick up double support. They don't necessarily have to do it either.
It's just, do you want Zebo when they have Muradin? That's what I'm thinking.
It's a good point.
Because
it's weird. It's hard trying to call these drafts because
I think we're going to see Tychus.
Tychus, huh? There's something different.
The Lord
That's cool.
Sin himself.
Double warrior. All right, I'm liking this.
I think this is a lightning breath build.
It could be.
I think that's. Ooh, look at his fiery torso. The Lord of Sin himself. Not a guy I'd want to fight with.
This is not what I was expecting to see. I thought they were going to go for a more laid-back style of play.
Kubi. It's Arthlon playing ETC. We're going to see Soldier play Diablo for the first time.
Does he have some kind of tricks up his sleeve?
Only
Do I get a bag of flips if I win?
Out.
Do you go further into flips debt?
No!
Are you betting on the flips or no?
Does it reverse?
Yeah, do you think
This is
Diablo's
all or
going to win?
nothing?
If you think Diablo's going to lose, you can bet on that too if you want. Or if he's going to win, you can
I
bet
think he's
on
going to win.
that. Do I want to take that? You already owe me 2 bags of flips.
So this would reduce my debt down
Yeah,
to...
it would reduce your debt down to 1. No, I'm not betting. Not betting. I don't feel strongly about it one way or the other. No bet. Sorry, I know it's a jerk thing to do, but I'm not giving you the opportunity to...
On the
Sink my
air.
flips
You
in.
just bait me like that.
I know. You got to hold that. That's fine. It's fine.
9 out of 10 players are ready. Gotta refresh on last pick sometimes.
Just Storm graphics. Okay. So, as far as I know, these guys are ready. We'll let them know we're good to go.
Shoutouts to ESL.
Shoutouts to shoutouts.
Shoutouts to Town Hall Heroes.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Little show we do. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Right on
this channel.
But of course, the channel is below our desk.
Well, I do this thing. I'm like pointing at the lower third thing. Yeah. So it's kind of like, hey, this is the internet that I'm pointing to. Makes no sense, but I do it anyway.
Shoutouts to PAX East. If you guys are going, find us at the
Yes.
Blizzard panel because we are going to be attending, sitting in that crowd, enjoying some chatter about the games that we love the most.
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
trying out some more Overwatch. We played it at BlizzCon. The game is super fun.
Yes, it is.
And I'm excited to play more. I will wait in that line for 14 hours if I have to.
Here's
Blizzard. You
gonna be a
hear
long
me?
one.
I will wait in that line.
Woo. All right.
Okay.
Dunk Train says he's ready. C9 Maelstrom is ready. Dreadnought says he's ready.
I'm petting-
Tempo Storm is ready. Casters are ready. Everyone's ready. The viewers are ready. Everyone is ready.
How do you know the viewers are ready? How do you know they're ready?
I know they're ready because they've been waiting.
Do they
very
have their
patiently
popcorn?
for these sick
Did
games.
they pour their brew? Do they have that brew crisp, sitting there, the foam at the perfect quantity, just waiting to be sipped upon?
Yeah, they do.
Good job, guys. I am proud. Well done. You're ready for the second game here of the grand final of Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11. Who's the host?
Not us. I didn't make the lobby. Jake's about to send a go. Should have put AL at the end. Go. They're not gonna know what that means. Like, what the heck is going? They're so confused to just start the match. Like I'm not even gonna deal with that. So confused.
Cursed Hollow, salty runbacks.
That's right. We are going to game number 2 of the grand finals of Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for watching this beautiful tournament between these very, very impressive teams. It's been a very close series so far. That of being one game in, of course, that means a close series. By standard definition, right?
Absolutely, Kubus Maximus. That has got to be a close series. Temple Storm on the left. Cloud9 Maelstrom on the right. 1-0 advantage in this best of 3 series. But Temple Storm, even if they win here, it just resets the bracket.
It's true. We got more games between these
More
two
games.
epically strong teams.
Such power.
Right?
It's like Spider-Man.
Can't handle it. What kind of build do we expect to see out of Diablo? What have we been seeing? We've been seeing, what, Soul Feast into Amplified Healing? Battle
Before we
momentum?
talk about that, let's just clarify. I think we already said it, actually, so I'm derailing this for no reason.
This better be good. Here we go.
No, I just wanted to say, in the blue team, we got Temple Storm, and in the red team, we got Cloud9. I guess I said that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You
I
can interrupt my Diablo discussion. It's okay. I know you don't like Diablo that
I got to
much,
think
but
about flips. I don't want to think about flips.
I love flips.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Just slap each other like, all right, let's back up. We'll reconvene in 5 minutes. Let's
No
go.
Pierce yet. He didn't grab it yet. Is that a mind game to shoot the one Sentinel and be like, haha, I don't have Pierce, and then grab Pierce?
I think that
No,
they'll check the talents
here's-
regardless.
Here's the thing. Dunk is actually considering whether or not he wants to get the Pierce. I think he will, especially because it's Cursed Hollow, and he does, yeah. The other option is the reduced cooldown on the Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
But speaking to Lord Dibbles, I want to see Lightning Breath, and I think we will. Look at this guy.
All right. Why Lightning Breath? Why not grab another DPS? Oh no! Oh, he's got the
Yeah,
Torch.
yeah.
Oh,
And that was nice.
If he already used it, that would have been sick.
Okay, so Lightning Breath with Battle Momentum is a really short cooldown. You can use Lightning Breath to farm in the lanes and just pick up night camps. Sometimes you'll see Diablo go to the Bruisers and just pick up those night camps pretty quickly because the cooldown is so short with Battle Momentum. But additionally, their damage is kind of low comparatively since they're running this double tank. ETC can grab Dance or something. In theory, you can flip someone into the Dance. It sounds cool, but I think having a Lightning Breath plus that would be optimal.
Okay. I'll have to wait and see. I think that the extra control for Archon and or Strafe with APOC could still be very good.
But you can.
I'm on the fence about
you
it.
still have so much knockback and so much disruption with the two of them between the Shadow Charge, the flip, and then
Yeah.
the dash forward of ETC and his knockback. So
What I'm trying to get at here, Jake, is
Okay.
that you haven't convinced me yet.
okay,
You haven't convinced me. You put up some good points. I'm on the fence about it still. For the game, I would have said, no, you're crazy.
on the fence is a really interesting term. Now,
Is it?
if you're literally on the fence,
Yeah.
you're probably a cat because that's a weird thing to do. That's something that cats would do.
But
But if you're on the fence, I
then you're
think of
probably a cat, because that's a really weird thing to do, right?
no, if you're just expressively on the, we got a bit of a fight here. The Sly Storm coming out of KO, applying a bit of damage, and Diablo is just letting everyone know he's here. The entire world knows his presence because he screams as loud
Yeah,
as he
I'm the Lord of
possibly
Terror.
can. Yes, that's what Lord of Terror does. Going for the Amplified Healing.
Oh
he
my
gets
goodness.
Soul Feast and the
Two
flip.
shots?
Oh,
so close to getting that pickup there.
but
on
notice the
Drunk Train.
respect. He sees
There was
he
respect.
sees the Hunter's Mark in his head. He's like, time to leave. Tap that well. Silly Nephilims. I'll come back later.
Silly enough. Are you very excited that they interrupted that discussion about being on the fence? because it sounded kind of like you didn't really have a butt afterwards.
No, what
And then
I was gonna say is expressively throw on the fence. I'm thinking of that show.
On the fence.
No,
Is the show called On the Fence? I don't know.
the guy goes, huh?
Oh.
The
So
neighbor?
you compare this immediately towards Home Improvement.
Yes, Home Improvement.
Home Improvement. Wilson
Wilson,
sitting over the
neighbor.
fence with just his little
He's
hat.
on the
Okay.
fence.
He's behind the fence.
Yeah,
He's on the side of wisdom,
his-
right? And he's just giving advice to Tim Allen.
That's what Diablo says too. As he casts the Fire Stomp. And, well, looking at the talents, pretty standard stuff. We do have the Farsight instead of the Feral Heart on Rhaegar. Tassadar going the supportee style. And on the other side, it's going to be pretty much standard picks
Sustained anomaly once again.
instead of the Gathering Power, correct.
Other than that, what you would expect to see for these talents. But level 7 has just been grabbed on the Maelstrom side of things. Cleanse on Uther. Okay, so no Eternal Devotion, double First Aid.
No
There's some
soak in the bottom lane because they're putting this pressure on with the Giants in the top. So they're opting to say, hey, look, we can forfeit a lane of soak for a lane of aggression. Let's get the structural damage done. And now they will be rotating back down. ATC has made his way down here, and they are properly soaking all 3 lanes.
No battle momentum for Diablo. Decides to go for the extra soul stacks.
It's actually very interesting. So that does... It doesn't mean that Chain Lightning is not going to happen, but... Not Chain Lightning, Lightning Breath. But it does make it much less likely.
Would you say Diablo's a soul man?
Soul
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da. You know that song? You
Yeah.
know that one? All right,
Yeah.
because you didn't know Cold as Ice.
I listened to it 3 times today.
He's learning.
I now know it.
You didn't know Cold as Ice. I was very upset. At least you know Soul Man. That's good. I don't know. It might not be the name of the song. Still, though, classic. Click Diablo is a Soul Man.
I
especially
Dream
when he grabs
will
that book.
successfully grab this. If Diablo overcommits, he will die. And yes, that is going to be tribute number 2, going to the side of Cloud9 Maelstrom 1-1 in the
Yes.
tribute count. And the levels are pretty much dead even, a very slight advantage on the side of Tempestorm as they were soaking all 3 lanes during that.
So we saw that Dunk Train was thinking a little bit about his level 7 talent. Grabs the when talents are hold on a second, K1 Pro in a little bit of trouble, is able to blink out. Quickening Blessing picked up on Tyrande.
I like this.
No True
considering-
Shot Aura,
I
no-
like this considering the triple melee.
Okay. Yeah, no. What's usually grabbed there? Either what, battle momentum or True Shot Aura?
Typically, yes. Those are the 2 options that you will see. And of course, True Shot Aura, that's 10% additional damage to your auto attacks on everyone around you. Thing about the quickening is you can't use that on yourself. That only works in allies. So typically you don't want to use your heal on yourself anyways, and that's just to kind of reinforce that idea of Tyranda's heal. We do see this Clairvoyance going down, revealing their position. Rather, that is a far sight.
Soldier jumping in.
Yeah,
Team's just a little bit behind, but they'll catch up. It actually scares them off.
It does. It does. And meanwhile, Arthlon in the bottom lane, hitting level 10. He has that threat of stage dive to go in if he does pick it up,
He has
and
Mosh
he's
Pit.
going to go
And
for
Lightning
Mosh
Breath!
Pit. Okay,
It was
so we do
picked.
see it. It was picked.
All right. So, okay, actually, you dismissed it a little bit by saying him grabbing the extra souls. But extra souls is extra HP, extra regen, allowing him to
Good point.
sit in Lightning Breath a little bit longer. Something
Battle
to think about.
momentum means you can
Food
use
for
it
thought.
more. So it's
more
it's-
often or more sustained. So,
Good point.
one side of the coin or the other. And then for the C9 Maelstrom side of things, we have Void Prison, Starfall, Divine Storm, Metamorphosis, and Avatar.
And man, these levels are actually just dead even. Wolfing's going to hit a
Yeah.
level 11 almost at identical times. And this is pairing to be, it's a slow start. It's 2-1 in terms of the tributes, but I think the team fights are going to be a little bit more aggressive with this double tank really bowling people out of the way, and then when that Lightning Breath comes down, plus Strafe, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, we haven't seen Lightning Breath used probably since the days of Boom and Dunk Train. Caught out of position, and Tyranda's body is strewn across the lane.
I mean, he's actually just a head poking out of the ground. He got slammed so far into the earth.
He did. He's going to be a giant later because he'll come out of the ground, right?
You're learning.
Great references.
Yes.
Yes.
Such synergy. Okay. That gives a bit of a level advantage here, and that is going to be a curse.
Yeah, more importantly, yes, the tribute up for grabs here, and they will end up taking this quite a bit of pressure, and this will give Tempo Storm a sizable lead.
Yeah, the quest to 13 is going to be very much in their advantage, and they can, after they take this out, they can opt to go for the boss, but
They will need to get a kill first
Yeah.
before they do that. I don't think they're going to just raw take it. It's a bit risky in that sense. If they were up a talent, maybe they could swing that, but I think the safer play, just go to the middle, take the fight, put some pressure on K1 Pro. He does tap well, so he's going to be fine.
that was
They break
scary.
in there.
That
Yep.
was scary. Diablo, he was hungry. He wanted those flips. He wanted those pretzels. The 13 has been picked up. We do see Healing Surge. This is going to make both ETC and Diablo very hard to kill. Now, Diablo does have Implement Healing, Echo Pedal on ETC. The charge forward, no flip, and the dance is only connecting. See, that's a combo they wanted to do.
The rotation coming in from behind. C9 Maelstrom is ready with the Divine Storm. There it goes. And the Lightning Breath, he's turning around.
He decides he just wants to burn on Dunk Train, but he doesn't succeed to pick up a kill. The Ancestral Healing Adrenaline is just clutch, just barely enough. ETC dashing forward, picking up that kill, dashing through the snow.
Random song outbreak.
Gonna blow up some nerds. Can I get some kills?
Okay.
All right, the holidays are over, but we tried.
We saw the seasonal reindeer on the Dreadnought's not going forward this game, but I think was it Arthon that was on Rhaegar that last game. We had the seasonal festive.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So somewhat relevant. Somewhat.
Barely,
Somewhat. Don't
barely,
take this too
barely.
far. All right.
iDream taking a lot of damage, having to back it up the Singularity Spike on the KO. Going to do a lot of damage, but he does have Dimensional Shift and the shielding. Do we have healing totems available out of either player?
Ooh, iDream. I don't know about this.
It's a bit risky, and he's going to lose his life for it. King Caffeine, I don't think he has Rock Toss available. He will fall as well. The heal's not going to be quite enough. Chain Heal going off so much healing.
I'm not seeing the game plan here from Maelstrom. And they have a lot of potential with the heroes they have selected, but I just don't see any cohesiveness, no synergy between the actions that are going on during those team fights. Like throw down the VP, and then yes, they got the Divine Storm in that last fight, then the follow-ups after that were really so coordinated. And the same thing there. It just kind of seemed like the teams weren't really quite sure, are we committing here? Are we trying to stop the golem or not? And they ended up losing a couple members of their team for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking very convincingly in favor of Storm right now. They want to take this to that next best of 3 series, and they have, you know, a nice lead, 15-13. They're picking up their bruisers, they're picking up their giants. The map is going to be almost entirely blue, except for this one little camp of giants.
Yep. And we see that iDream on Illidan is going to rotate over to take those giants, just to provide themselves a little bit of map pressure. It's just like a support win. You're like, all right, we got that. We can still take these camps.
Okay, let's look at level 16.
Do we have going to double relentless for both the tanks? That's the 13th. Firestorm, the classic.
The damage style. This is a damage oblo.
I'm not sure. What is the others? Oh, maybe Stone Skin? I forget what the option is. I mean, once he gets one of those lightning breaths, it just hits 3 members for its entire duration. That's when his damage starts to get really ridiculous.
And the Firestorm.
Yeah, that helps, especially for clearing waves. It's a nice pick. We have the Earthgrass Totem, of course, Blood for Blood on Vala, full dimensional shift style build on Tassadar. It seems to be coming back in favor. And nothing picked for ETC yet. We normally see Stone Skin just for the extra survivability because he is going to be in there body blocking, peeling for the rest of his team. Usually the pickup so he doesn't get bursted down too quickly. Geez, I'm trying to remember what some of the options are there. They're so obscure, they're not really jumping out at me, to be honest. I'm always see Stone Skin.
Yeah, well, they're picking up this boss. That tribute will be collected here 4-1 in the tribute count in favor of Storm, and right now Cloud and Maelstrom is putting some aggression onto this top 4.
Opted to go for imposing presence.
Look at this. Split decision. Nope, they just want the tower. I thought they were going to try to push out the bottom keep, force the position back on Cloud and Maelstrom. Not the case. It looks like they're expecting that. They were actually expecting the rotation.
If they get these interrupts, this is kind of a big deal. The team is split. They're not. They want to go back to defend this.
Oh, this is okay. The VP is huge. So, what exactly happened there was they showed the watchtower being captured, and Maelstrom said, "Oh no, they're backdooring us." 2 of them made it back, but they stopped that. And that's going to be a dead Dunk Train. Look at him just get pushed across the ground. Yeah. He's so far away from his bow. It's just getting kicked around.
Like, we got more important stuff to do. Get out of the way. And all the while, this golem is pushing the bottom. It's not going to be able to get the keep, but really slapping away at those towers, getting extra experience for Temple Storm. They're going to be able to take this keep. They can back up, take another tribute. That's going to put them 1 away from an additional curse.
And they're just keeping that lead, not overcommitting, playing very cautiously and intelligently, doing the little mind games to get those advantages in those fights. And another full minute on these knights, so Arth is just kind of standing guard with the farm animal life.
I was about to say, C9 Maelstrom really needs to hit that level 16 for those extra talents. We see the double bombs, of course. Gives Zeratul quite a bit more utility, more damage output during those team fights. Stone form, a lot more sustainability for Muradin. And what is Tyrande going to go for?
Probably the Lunar Blaze. Or rather
mana
the mana refund, yeah, whatever that was called. Lunar Blaze is the 13.
Yep. Certainly a possibility. The other 16, Ranger. That's also a possibility too. Pierce was grabbed to level 1, so
They both work. They both
especially on this map.
Yeah.
The Ranger can be good. I think he's probably perhaps arguing that or discussing about it with his team over TeamSpeak or whatever it is they use to communicate.
Yep. Now, Ranger, of course, it gives additional damage the further it travels across the map. So on a map like this, you hit people from very far away. You never know. It could pick up a kill. And there is the Ranger, actually. So, all right. That determines our level 16 talents. But the advantage is still here for Tempo Storm, having 2 levels ahead. And they are rotating up to take those bruisers while these bottom giants are collected by Cloud9.
Take a look around at some of these mark camps. The top golem is going to be spawning in about 26 seconds, and another 2.5, right? Because we just saw that one captured. So I wonder if we're going to see Temple Storm continue to hold the presence in the top side of this map. Maybe apply a bit of pressure if they want to get a heads up on that golem. Not the case, though. Of course, we do have this tribute spawning, and this is an important one for Maelstrom to stop. If they give this one up to Temple Storm, they're most certainly going to lose 2 keeps.
Wow, that Headway delivering 3 packages to the side of Tempo Storm. King Caffeine, Dwarf tossing in, and there is the Metamorphosis. Dreadnought is going to have to use Ancestral Healing on himself, but that Lightning Breath just absolutely eliminated Dunk Train on Tyrande. Dread will end up falling here, but the Lightning Breath turns around.
Guys, come back. I need to hit you.
I want you to smell my breath. And, well, we're going to see Biceps end up just getting off that heal, but he will fall as he gets slammed on in.
That's
the
right.
Choke Slam life is real.
iDream no longer has Metal Horse. He's also going to find himself in a sticky situation. Caffeine is probably just going to try and just get that trade death onto Glaurung. The shielding is too much. K1 Pro, the only one left alive for Maelstrom. They are going to cap this tribute, and they have a whole 30 seconds in a 2v4 situation.
Yeah, it's
Are they going to try and end it? That's
it's
the
looking
question.
rough.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are they trying to end it? Well, they have these golems already putting pressure. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Okay,
try
they
to
want the
get
boss.
aggressive.
They
Go
just
for the
want
boss.
to play safe. They don't want to overcommit. They know those death timers aren't long enough to end the game. The core is taking damage. The shields have been penetrated by the giants and these catapults. This curse making it so there's no retaliation from the minions, and the minions just evaporating. And already down to 82%.
That's a good point. Well, we have Golem being taken in the top lane. And they're going to continue this lead. They'll push forward with this. Well, I always say it like it's like a guaranteed thing, but no, they can actually decide to just go down and take the bottom keep while Maelstrom is responding to the Golem. It just basically adds options to the wheel of choices that they can make.
Yeah, but with another 15 seconds on this curse, they're just going to push in and wait for that boss and fight under the boss. It's a favorable situation that the threat of the damage and the slam out of that boss is not something you really want to underestimate, but the Lightning Breath is doing so much damage a little bit early on that Ancestral Healing, but Biceps will fall either way, getting that damage out. There is the flip. The Void Prison is real, stalling up 3 members, but the boss is already smacking away at the core. The shields being eliminated. It's down to 56%.
And that is going to do it. Tempo Storm taking a somewhat quicker game here on a 2-0 advantage, and they will reset the bracket.
This is the first ever bracket reset I think we've ever had in Heroes of the Storm. I don't recall ever having a bracket reset.
Not that I've casted.
Yeah.
No bracket reset, no? It's a good point. But they've done it. Tempo Storm is back. They want their revenge. They take a quick 2-0. They got 2-0'd in Winners Finals. Take a quick 2-0. Who's going to win the third set?
Boys, without further ado, we're just going to get ready to jump right into it.
Yes.
We're going to reset the score. Reset the clock! If you ever watch Pacific Rim, you'll get my reference. And
I have seen it, and I don't get your reference.
good. I've seen it like 10 times. So
I know.
maybe I'm just a little bit too obsessed with that movie.
You have coffee called Pacific Rim. It's out there in the other room. It's called Pacific. The only reason you bought it was because it was called Pacific Rim.
I like that movie a lot.
You make me sick.
Stop judging me.
No, I have to jump.
Commercial break, initiate.
Oop.